What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con 2014. Remember, we are brought to you by Lucy and the Evil Within, and also you need to go to Facebook and like our page, and then go to the hashtag IGN Live to get your questions right on the air. I did it. Nailed it all.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the best show on television, Arrow. This is Eric. He doesn't matter. Stephen, Katie, Mark. I'm just saying, I don't matter either. No one else in the room matters but you guys. We're all huge fans at IGN.
Yes, we are.
Steven, here's my question for you. I watch Arrow a lot. I like it a lot. The question I always have, though, is when is the last time you were allowed to enjoy food? The definition on this, it's not natural.
Yeah,
do they have an oat bag on you? It's not like, what are they giving you?
But my diet is working 14 hours a day and doing a lot of physical stuff.
He actually eats a lot.
I eat a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, but does it have to be like boring stuff like chicken breasts or no?
No.
Oh, I like it like.
Yeah, I did that diet for like a little bit, and then instead of sticking with it, I decided to just go on living my life.
Nice.
He's a little bit of like a freak of nature, I think. You can eat whatever you want. Your abs will always look like that.
The person that we all are like, come
Right.
on, not fair. Season 2, a big ending to the season, a big showdown. I talked to Andrew last week, fellow producer, and he said, as this season begins, things are looking up for Oliver Queen. Everything's coming up Oliver for once, but I'm guessing that won't last.
No, I mean, anytime things are good on the show, that means something horrible is going to happen. But I'm proud of our first episode this season. A lot happens. I think we hit the ground running and literally,
Yeah.
and it's all the themes from season 3 that we're going to carry through pop up in that first episode, which was the case in our first couple of seasons. If you're looking for clues as to where we're going, pay very close attention to the premiere.
Now, Laurel, she was in a bad state for quite a while.
Poor Laurel.
Poor Laurel, but
I feel sorry for Laurel sometimes.
she ended the season with a lot more optimism, I'd say. Things were much better, healthy, and she finally knew the secret. She was in on it all. He talked about this season, kind of maybe that expanded role she might have now that she is in on what Oliver's doing at night.
I don't know. I'd like to say with season 3 and everything that I've seen so far and what we've discussed is expect the unexpected. Every time I get a script, it's always a page turner. I'm always shocked and excited, and it's nice because our writers, creators, producers have given us a lot of things to work with. So I think that when, like Stephen said, you think things are going well, then all of a sudden crazy things happen and they're not going so well. So,
are you anxious for Laurel to start kicking butt and being a crime fighter? Because everyone else is getting in on the action.
Yes. Aren't you anxious? Yeah.
She's got a leather jacket.
You never know what can happen with that.
Mark, because we came off of the Deathstroke sort of arc, and that was such an intense storyline. And again, I know you can't just be like, here's exactly what the storyline is this season. But as far as a threat goes, you had a great one last year. So how do you kind of aim to have a strong new threat to follow up on Deathstroke?
It's always tricky because you can only blow up Starling City so many times.
Right. That city's been through a lot.
It really has. Actually, one of the things we do in the third season is we do address that, and we talk about it, and we treat it realistically and make it part of our story engine, because we don't want to just ignore the fact that basically the city has been the victim of 2 terrorist attacks in 2 years. But one of the things that we're doing with season 3 is we recognize that we can't blow the city up again. So the dangers and the stakes are more psychological and more emotional. And there's a lot of battles for people's souls in this season. A lot of, the theme of the season is identity. And everyone will be going through some sort of identity crisis. And that will all ramp up to the very end of the season, which we've got mapped out, which is nice.
Now, the flashbacks are an important component of the show. It seems like they're throwing you a big curveball here, Stephen, because you're in a whole different terrain now.
Yeah, I think it's really nice, actually, going into the third season. We know Oliver's 5-year journey, but it's nice to have a new wrinkle to the flashbacks. Being in Hong Kong, not being on an island, having a couple of allies, actually, seeing the beginning stages of Oliver's relationship with Amanda Waller and what she has him doing. I think it's really cool. Being in Hong Kong just opens up a whole different can of worms that we can use for storytelling. Yeah. And I've felt a difference already with the flashbacks. They feel fresh.
Okay.
In this past season, did you guys notice a spike in popularity? I mean, around The Office, it seemed like everything went on Netflix, and then suddenly everyone was an Arrow convert. Everyone was talking about how amazing this show was.
It was really cool, and there were a couple of different points in the year. I think Time Magazine wrote a really great piece about the success of the show, which was amazing. And I felt like we found our groove, and Netflix is a huge... I mean, the show just sort of popped up on Netflix. I'm going to hype up when it comes out for season 2 on Netflix, because that's how people watch television nowadays. Yeah. But yeah, it seemed, and John Barrowman explained the trajectory of shows in terms of how the fans react, and he was very much like, you are a guest in their living rooms for the first year, and then in the second year, they expect you. You're like family. Right. And I've felt that difference, especially, being our third Comic-Con, the difference is gigantic.
Yeah, you're like the returning hero now. No pun intended on Arrow. It's obviously when you walk around here, I'm sure people are very excited about Arrow.
I don't think you can walk around here.
Well, yeah.
Well, you can. It's really cool. A lot of gratitude. It's very rewarding, because this fall there are going to be 5 DC properties on television. 5.
Yeah.
And when we were here in 2012, we were the first one. So that's.
And you were walking the floor.
I was walking around.
And he would be like, "That's my face on that bag."
You're like,
and people were like,
"Get away
"Who
from
are
me, you weirdo!"
Hey, you want me to sign anything?
That
No,
crazy
please.
guy thinks I'm on his
this guy
bag.
thinks he's on this bag. Okay.
We have a question from Facebook. Remember, everybody go to our page, like it, hashtag IGN Live. It comes from Andrew. He says, "What do you admire most about Oliver Queen, and have you applied that trait to your own life?"
I don't know if it's what I admire most, but he tends. I have a tendency to be a little bit impulsive, and Oliver, I've found, is much more calculated and patient, and thinks about what he's going to say before he says it. And I have tried to apply that to my own life.
How's it going?
Not well.
I have an answer to that one too.
Please, I want to hear from everybody, even Eric.
Abs and no.
That's
gonna
my
be my
answer too.
Right?
What was the question?
What do you admire most about me?
No, sir. Oliver.
The amount of, am I allowed to say ass?
Sure.
Yes? The amount of women? Hello?
But the second part of the question is, have you applied that to your own life?
Oh.
You didn't.
Well, no. No.
You're missing out. You could cash in.
Yeah. It's okay.
Laurel has had a back and forth relationship with her sister, who is popping up again this season. They also ended things. It was a much more optimistic end for Laurel last season. So when Sarah comes back to town, what will that relationship be like?
They left on a good note. I think having Katie Lotz was amazing. She's a wonderful actress, and the chemistry between us. I have sisters, and so it was really nice getting to work with somebody on screen to play my sister, because I can relate to that so much, and it was very real, and she's so accessible and raw, and it's nice that she's with us season 3, and I think that their relationship, just you'll get to see more of it, and it just gets deeper and stronger, and I don't know, Mark.
I would say,
What's gonna happen?
That's a really good answer. I feel like, well, first of all, the scene that you guys share on the rooftop in the season premiere, where she comes back to town.
Yeah.
That's so. I haven't seen it cut together. I've only seen the dailies, but it's so sisterly.
Yeah.
And it's so great, because this is basically, it's been 5 months, and she's back, and you've got a real relationship. And I feel like Sarah's a big part of season 3. Everything that really is happening in the long tail arc of the season is really happening around her because of Sarah, or Sarah's invoked, and sort of weaves throughout that entire arc. And obviously, I think that whole scene that you guys have in the premiere sets you down even further down your path.
For sure, yeah.
And there's a big, there's a big momentum that is created in Laurel's character as a result of the events of the season premiere. That's very fair to say.
Yeah.
All right, so you have a big panel today.
Yeah.
Showing some stuff, hosting the whole thing.
Yeah.
What can people expect to read about on IGN? What are you announcing stuff? Are you showing the whole season?
What
How does
are
it
we
end?
going to do tonight? We are going to show the entire Flash pilot. We're going to show the entire Gotham pilot. We are going to tease Constantine, and we are going to show a trailer for season 3 of Arrow that contains footage that we didn't see at our panel yesterday. And then we're having the biggest collection of television talent in the history of Comic-Con on stage for a panel that Jeff Johns is going to moderate.
I've heard of him.
And you've never seen Hall H look like it's going to look tonight.
It's gonna
That's
be
awesome. That was a
It's
great
gonna be,
tease.
yeah,
If
quite
this acting thing doesn't work out, you can
quite
go to PR.
quite the DC gathering. It sounds-
It's the biggest DC gathering you've ever had.
Mark, when's Arrow come back?
October 8th.
All right. Thank you all for
we will
joining
be
us.
there.
The
So
show's
much.
awesome.
Thanks
a lot.
Everybody, watch Arrow. Don't be stupid. Watch Arrow. And also, don't be stupid. Stay here. IGN has so much more coming up from Comic-Con after this.